Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. My name is Russ. Come on into my sewing room. So, what's been going on? I had the week off this week from work, so that was really wonderful. I did have a couple calls that came in that I had to take care of with support issues, but they were minor, very easy, and didn't take away much of my day. I did get a handful of things done that I had planned for the week. There was a couple things that I didn't get done. It all evens out in the end, doesn't it? So from the goals last week, I managed to get some of my patterns and fabric into organized boxes. I didn't get everything. I have a lot to go through, and I'm trying to get things organized piece by piece. So we'll see how far I can get over the next couple of weeks. The really exciting thing is I managed to pick up yes, you heard me right, 8 quilts from the long armor. Don't expect them to be bound fairly quickly. It takes me a good week or so to do binding on a quilt, so it'll take me a few weeks, months to get them bound and ready for show and tell. I generally do one project a month where I do the binding. It's my relaxation at the TV, and I will show and tell it that same month. It helps keep me on track to make sure I have one finished project a month. So that leads me on a good year, 12 projects a year completed. So for accomplishments, I managed to get Clue 9 done of the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt, if I can hold them up properly for you. These kind of look like star legs if you look at them this way. If you can see the little bit of a star going on, I'm trying to make sure I keep it in frame. So they look like star legs. We'll see what it happens. Month 10 is the finishing pattern. So I'm excited that that is coming up soon. I will get to have my very first Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt completed. This has been so much fun to do that I am looking forward to signing up for the next one. I believe signups are in late November, early December, based on the email that I have from signing up for this program. So we'll see what I get. In addition to the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt, I did start and complete the first block of the Socialites 2022 pattern. I am doing Tula Pink, as you can see, and I'm using the black background where I was deciding back and forth between the white and the black. A lot of friends had said that they preferred the black over the white just to help the colors pop. I'm doing the 9-inch version of the blocks, so they're a little bit larger. There was a few difficulties in this month's block. It did say that it is for an experienced quilter. It's just when I was trying to piece things, I got myself a little ahead and did a couple little bit of ripping. It was fine. What I think is the most annoying part of the entire process was I had thought that I got the hexagons lined up properly in the multiple blocks, only to find out that I did it sideways. It looks fine either way. Nobody's going to notice except for me, and now all of y'all who have heard this and are going to go look and peek. I'm going to call this a design decision because it still looks awesome either way. So let's talk about piecing. Take a look at this. It looks awesome, doesn't it? It's one of the quilts I had completed by my long armor over the past couple days. Now let's zoom in right here. I don't remember seeing this when I was piecing the block. I went back and zoomed in on a few pictures that I took of it in the middle of the process, and sure enough, that gap is there. If I had noticed back then, I would have had two choices. Pick and re-sew the seam, hoping that it's better, or leave it as is. Truth be told, I would have left it as is. There were a lot of seams coming together right there. It would have been a little bit more difficult to get the block to be the proper size with bulkier seams, so I would have left it how it is. But the great thing is, if you're looking at it from a distance, you don't really see it. So remember that when you're doing your piecing, you may notice an imperfection up close, but the average person isn't going to be comparing your seams and seeing if you have perfect points or perfect lineups. So don't worry about it. It does quilt out, or in my case, it does accentuate in the quilting, but from a distance and looking at it, nobody's going to pay attention. So, what are my goals this week? Well, my primary goal is going to be keeping up with socialites. It's a 22 block program. I think it's 22. Uh, that's a lot of blocks to keep up with, and that's a lot of blocks to try to play catch up with and little breaks that I'm going to have throughout the next couple months. So I would rather stay ahead of them and not have to worry about getting caught up in the end versus letting a couple weeks slide and then having a massive sewing day. For a goal that's not immediate, I think I'm going to try to get some of the finishing triangles done. Since I'm doing the 9-inch socialites program, I know that all of my blocks will have to end at 9 inches. And if I'm looking at the pattern, I can see that 9 inches is the finish size of the half square triangles and quarter square triangles in the finishing section. So I might also be able to start piecing rows as they are ready, since we know what the finished project is going to look like. Uh, Part of me says, no, don't do it this way in case I want to shift blocks around. So we'll see what decisions are made. They should be scrappy enough that I can do the blocks as they are finished and lay them out in the same direction that Fat Quarter Shop has put them in. Second goal that I have is going to be getting more of my stuff organized. Like I said, I had a pretty good week this past week, so I want to stay in here and get some more of the bins behind me organized. And my final goal this week is to start the binding of the Gray Saturday Sampler quilt. I got this back from the Long Armor in my pile of 8 that I mentioned earlier. This is going to be one of the first ones that I am gifting, so I want to have this done for Christmas. And in order to get it shipped out for Christmas, that means I need to have everything done probably by Thanksgiving, which is perfect because the next show and tell is going to be mid-November at the local quilt shop for our Saturday Sampler program. And that reminds me, I do need to get my Saturday sampler block done. It's been a week since I received it, and that means I've only got a couple more weeks until the next Saturday sampler program. Maybe that'll be something else that I will work on next weekend. So that's going to be it for this episode of Quilt Meets World. If you like what you see, please leave a comment below and smash that like button. It means the world to me to know that people are liking the content that I'm putting out. I know I only have a few videos out there, but every little bit helps. So until next time, keep stitching.